period.
Pull up, it's about to blow up. Show love, we coming and you know us.
It's a vibe and it's fresh on your mind. Breaking hot, top and slide. You know what we like, yeah.
Get up, you don't wanna miss us. In the mix, it's official.
It's official.
Big facts, no cap. Where you at?
Yeah.
It's time to kick back.
It's the mix.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to The Mix, the only live and millennial and Gen Z talk show in the game, giving you all of the good vibes, fun, and of course, a mix of opinions. We've got a great show for you guys tonight, and we've got a two-time Grammy award-winning artist getting into the mix with us. Singer-songwriter Lonr will be joining us in a little bit. And before I ask y'all how y'all are, I just want to remind y'all, today, last year, I was going into labor and y'all were telling the world about it. Tomorrow, my baby will be 1 year old. Please.
Hey.
A mom for a year tomorrow. Y'all, she look crazy. She got a little.
Hey, Hunter.
Hey.
What's up, Hunter?
Look at that cutie.
Oh,
Hey, it was a little hey. Yeah, he's eating. She looking a little crazy, but yeah. So we're gonna go to the aquarium tomorrow. If y'all want to join us, and we'll be having a party on Sunday. If y'all want to join us again,
Well, how many parties Hunter gonna have? See?
You know, it's my first child, y'all. I'm turning up for this one.
Yeah, you gotta turn up. You gotta turn up.
you know, Hunter is a part of the Harris family, and they do things big and rich. So definitely.
Period time. But how are my co-hosts doing? Let me get to y'all.
Man, always a blessing. I ain't gonna lie, I'm tired though. I've been up since 4 a.m. running around doing charity work for the holidays. So I'm trying to find that extra win right now. But Tom, great minds think alike. I see you with the green, bro.
You know what I'm saying? Wait, not only did we got on the same color, but you got a fireplace, and I got my fireplace.
Hey, ladies, step y'all game up.
Yeah, I gotta step up my background for sure. But
My fireplace on the screen. Y'all got me messed up.
I wanna shout out my sister. She's starring in True to the Game 3 right now with her alongside Columbus Short, Vivica Fox, Lil Mama, Jeremy Meeks. It's an incredible movie. Please go out and see it. It's in theaters right now. So shout out to my sister, my sister Erica.
Yo, talented, amazing, beautiful sister.
That's right.
We definitely gotta check that out. But last week, you guys, let's get into these topics. The music world stood still because former rivals Ye and Drake came together for a one-night only Free Larry Hoover benefit concert performance to a sold-out crowd in LA. They entered the venue together, and Ye shocked everyone by bringing out the old Ye and pretty much every hit from his album since day one, you guys. He performed classics like Jesus Walks, Runaway, and Touch the Sky, just to name a few. Now, Drake followed up his performance with songs from his new album, Certified Lover Boy. So the two finished the show performing Forever together for the first time, and man, I don't even know how long. And anybody who was there, including our very own Anton, was able to see this amazing show. So Anton, can you tell us about it and what it was like to actually be in that stadium?
Ooh. Let me tell you. So first of all, it was a movie. Like that whole experience to me was a movie. It was very much like cinematic vibes. So when they came in, they came down on some stairs. They had a choir singing while they came in. All the smoke was in their face. You couldn't really see them, but you see the lights and the smoke. It was like two gods were walking down to like the disciples and just meeting their people. You know what I mean? Like, I also didn't realize how much of a catalog Kanye had, like hit after hit after hit after hit. And this was kind of history because Kanye said that he was never going to perform his old music again. And so when I went to go see him perform that night, he hadn't performed these songs in over like 2 or 3 years. So, you know, and to do this with Drake, like to have two of the biggest names in hip hop right now, like come together and squash their beef, like it was magical. It really was magical. One thing that I wish that they would have kind of touched on more was the purpose of them coming together, which was for Larry Hoover. Drake kind of mentioned it briefly, but I would love for them to kind of just make that a bigger point to the audience for anybody who didn't really know. But hands down, I'm gonna say it's the best concert I ever been to. It's the number one.
Well, Anton, you touched on something that I actually want to talk a little bit more about, and that's about Kanye performing his old songs again, because when he started his Sunday service, he said that he didn't want his kids to hear the vulgar language. So why do you think that he changed his mind and decided to perform these songs again?
Wait, before anybody answer that question, what did y'all want to be when y'all was a little kid, when they asked you in elementary when you grow up?
Singer.
Exactly, it changes. That's what life's all about. Your mind is going to change. You're going to grow. You're going to constantly evolve.
Facts. I'm going to back off what he said. I think, you constantly evolve and you grow. But also, I think that there was such a bigger movement beyond him. It was about Larry Hoover. And so I think that he wanted to shine light on that and what's going on and to get him out of jail. And you got Drake. Like when you got Drake, you got to go against Drake. You got to bring out the big boys. You got to bring out the hits, that catalog.
But Ton, like you said, you was reminded of why is Kanye Kanye? And this is what you are reminded of when you go to these concerts, when somebody play their entire catalog. The man is a living legend for a reason. He have songs that could bring us back to middle school, to high school moments, to college moments, to drunken moments, to happy moments, to sad moments, to run away from me, baby, to all of that where people forget all the work this man put in. He's probably, like you said, Ton, this is probably one of the best concerts you've been to, but he's probably our most colorful artist overall in the industry. If you think about all the work that Kanye put in. And I think that concert, a lot of my friends who went there, they said the same thing. They were like, we were reminded who Ye is.
I was just going to say, for me, I feel like with having kids in the beginning, you're like, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, I'm going to be this way, or not show them this and that. I feel like I've had those moments, but if I, had legendary things in my past, like Kanye, well, let me not say like Kanye, because I had some legendary stuff going on myself.
Facts.
I know.
Let them know.
Period. But I would say I would, after a while, as my child grows, I would want her to get into that stuff. If it's that legendary, I want her to see, what I had going on. So I feel like what Romeo said, it's you change. We continue to change.
Wow. So you hit it on the head though. When you're a new parent, you are going to want to do things different and want to try. But then at the end of the day, like you said, that Kanye catalog is legendary. We need it, man.
Listen, at the end of the day, the show was a classic. And it also showed how just two rappers can be adults and squash the beef. Now, there's a lot of rappers who have beef with each other, like Cardi B and Nicki Minaj, Eminem and Machine Gun Kelly, 50 Cent and Ja Rule, 50 Cent and T.I., 50 and Madonna, 50 and Rick Ross, and basically in the industry, okay? But what I want to know is, what other legendary feuds would y'all like to see squashed in 2022?
Man, I gotta see Nicki and Lil' Kim squash it.
Yes.
I think that'll be so legendary for female rap. Like, they've both done so much for the culture. And I just want to see a versus or hear them on a record together, because I think that would be monumental for female rap. So hopefully that comes in 2022.
I'm definitely with that, Jazz. I was just going to say, I hate to talk for people, but like, this is my stepdad and I don't think it's a real beef going on between him and 50, because he's still been wanting to do that versus 50. Let me just say it, let me say it for my pops. Like, we trying to get on that versus. Are you scared? No, I'm just kidding. Let me say, no, I'm kidding. I'm saying that to say, I was going to say, 50 always is coming for everybody, and he never gets canceled. So 50, I was playing jokes. Please don't, because they'll cancel me before they cancel you. I don't get that, but
right.
We love 50.
Here goes your guest star on Black Mafia Family. There we go.
It's him gonna be posting me today.
Hey, but isn't it crazy? I've been in this business and circled around with that, and it's like they use beef to kind of catapult the careers of musicians and people in hip hop, and it's unfortunate because we could do so much more together. but it does come to a place where a lot of people like seeing that competition. It's like a sport, right? You want to see the best against the best. And I think certain people know how to play that game a lot better than others. Hint, Kanye and Drake, where they built up this crazy back and forth beef and then had one of the greatest concerts together. So for me, it's always been a thing where it's very interesting because it's such a big part of our industry. But at the same time, it's like, what would it be without a little beef?
You know,
Don't care.
I gotta ask you this: do you think? And I'm not gonna specifically talk about Kanye or Drake, but do you think these rappers go into beefs with each other and like on the side they're really cool with each other, but they feel like they'll make more money beefing against each other?
Honestly, from my personal experience, I got to say yes, because even being in certain things is like I've been cool with people, right? And then sometimes you're like, where did that come from? So I could see where if it could benefit you, it's like a boxing match. You're going to go talk to that other rapper. And I believe a lot of rappers nowadays, they like, look, I'm about to come at you this way, you know, give me your best shot. And then we're going to figure it out and do something big at the end of the day. So I do think it is all in fun and games for a lot of artists because it is big business.
Well, I want to know now that Kanye and Drake is cool, are Drake and Pusha gonna be cool too? Because you know Pusha was signed to.
See, it's levels to this beef, Jazz. That's levels, a different beef right there. I'm just saying that's a different beef. So it's levels.
That was a big beef.
You know what beef I want to squash this year?
Which one?
Jamie and Romeo beef.
Come on.
Yeah, sure. The beef that we have, that's a perfect example. Me and Romeo act like we have beef, but we never actually have beef off camera. That's
y'all faking with us.
Hey, right. In the showbiz, Jamie.
Thank you for the welcome, Romeo. I appreciate it. Okay. Well, anyway, I actually want to talk about something that I saw coming to HBO Max on Friday, and it's called Chillin Island. And it's a new reality show from co-director and producer of Uncut Gems, Josh Safdie, and it's also being produced by Drake's Dream Crew. The show takes rappers like Young Thug, Gunna, Lil Yachty, Coi Leray, Lil Tecca, and more into swamps and deserts for some new and sometimes tranquil adventures. The trailer shows, and it's literally insane. I recommend you watch it if you haven't. Gunna fishing, Young Thug getting his hat swiped by a bird, and Yachty paddle boating down a river, being just one with nature. Y'all must stay, am I right? So anyway, I want to know if you guys are tuning into this, and also, do you think you could survive in a wild outdoor experience?
Man, y'all need to go pull up that MTV throwback footage. Me and Pops did a show on MTV where we crashed in the country at country folks' cribs. And the first one was Master P and Lil Romeo crashes at the Quacking Bushes.
I remember that.
I remember that. Yeah. So we did this a while ago, but I love the wilderness. A lot of people don't know this. Like, that's my escape. And I actually been filming my own like documentary style where I bring my friends and we just go talk and have these conversations in the middle of nowhere. So for me, I grew up country. I know y'all see the bling bling and the big castles and stuff now. But like when I was a kid, we used to be like playing with alligators, eating pig lips, running in mud, catching our tadpoles and doing a whole bunch of other crazy stuff that country kids do. And that's where I feel most at home, believe it or not.
I'm gonna go with absolutely not. I hate outdoors.
Pickle pig lips.
I have a couple things to say over here. One, I'm just going to start off by saying I wish I was one of Romeo's special friends who got invited.
No, absolutely.
But we'll save that for later. I was going to say I'm very excited for this show because, for one, I've always been a big fan of Naked and Afraid. I don't know if y'all know.
Oh yeah, Naked. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Okay, so I used to want to go on that show, y'all, so bad, but I wanted to go for the wrong reasons. I know I wouldn't survive. I wanted to go because the people lost hella weight at the end, and I was like, hey, if I go on that show, I'm losing weight, bro. I gotta go. But,
wait, Zoe, before you continue, did you see about the people who almost died on there and lost their legs as well?
Oh, I did, Romeo, I did, but. See, when you grow up really chubby and you in a group and your mama like, you can't be the fat OMG girl, you'll do anything to lose the weight. So I was planning to go on Naked and Afraid. I was planning, y'all. I swear I was planning to go on that show. And I went camping for the family hustle, and it was an interesting experience. So I'm just gonna say, all in all, I would not be good in the
We'll not do it again.
There you go.
Yeah, no.
Absolutely.
Well, I was going to ask you guys. For me, I don't like anything outside. I don't like grass. I don't like dirt. I don't like mud. I don't like flies. So I know I wouldn't last at all. But who do you think out of all of us would be the best at survival and then the first to go home?
I'm gonna say if Romeo eating pig lips,
Yeah.
Yeah, because I don't know that lifestyle right there.
I have no desire.
That's one of the hidden things about me. I love the wild and outdoors and just trying to survive. Like Zoe, I was with you. I watch Naked and Afraid almost every day. So I got y'all. I know how to sterilize the water. I know how to build tree houses. I know how to do any types of shelter you need. I got you.
Oh,
Now I'm second.
I'll be at home.
Best. I'm calling it because I was.
I'll be at home for sure.
Maybe a little fire.
I know how to build a little hole in the ground for you and Jazz to go use the restroom and then cover it back up.
on that note, we're gonna take a nice little break.
Okay.
We have Grammy award-winning singer, songwriter, and producer Lonr getting into the mix. When we come back, y'all, keep it locked on Fox Soul, baby.
Yeah.
Welcome back to the mix, everybody. So our first guest tonight is a two-time Grammy award-winning artist. His music fuses together hip hop, rock, punk, grunge, indie, and a little bit of R&B too. I love his vibe so much that I personally had to suggest him to our producers to have him on the show. Now, he recently released his newest project, Land of Nothing Real 2. And he's riding his own damn wave to superstardom. Let's welcome my fellow Aries brother, Lonr, into the mix.
Yeah.
Oh, what's good?
Man.
You an Aries? You an Aries, bro? What day were you born?
April 4th.
April 4th. Word. I'm on the 19th.
Hey.
19th gang in the building, August 19th. 19.
19. Let's go.
Yeah.
Aries is the best sign in the zodiac.
Okay, Con.
Get to the interview now. Let's just get to the interview.
Okay, so we're catching you right after your show at Rolling Loud on Saturday. Now, we've had a few guests here on the mix who also performed, like Young Baby Tate, Duke Deuce, and Tusi. Now, was this your first Rolling Loud?
Yeah, this is my first show. This is my first performance ever. It was first one. Crazy.
Wow.
No, that's legendary.
No. You have a really close relationship to your supporters. Now, what is the energy like when you're performing in front of a huge crowd like Rolling Loud?
The energy is lit. I was on the 106 stage, and so that's like for the beginners, you know what I'm saying, the new people like me. So it was a little more intimate than like being on like the bigger stages. So like for me, like I love those at this point in my career because I can like actually go in and I can see every single face and remember them and be like, yo, it's good. When they hit me up on Instagram, because I be shouting my Instagram out, I remember them, and then we can have a connection off of that. So it's cool.
Oh, I love it.
So I wanted to ask you because, speaking of festivals, I actually attended Astroworld Fest last month, and we all know the tragedy that occurred there. So did you see a change in how, the Rolling Loud Festival went down this weekend with mosh pits and crowds? And has that affected your show in any way? Because you said you go into the crowd and things like that. So has that affected?
I mean, I think really it's just made people a little more cautious, like especially the artists performing, they're a little more cautious about what's going on, like just being more aware about people's safety, because you're there to rage, you come there to do something that could harm people and could put people in danger. So to just be more aware and be more cautious, I think is what we gotta do.
Absolutely.
Yeah, no doubt. But I want to dig into your music. And like Anton said earlier, you really can't put your sound in a box or in a certain genre. So I want to know, who are some of the artists that you connected with and who influenced you and your sound?
I mean, y'all were talking about it earlier. Literally, it was so cool for me to see Drake and Kanye together on one stage because they were so influential on like who I am today as an artist, who I am as a person, like all that type of stuff. But I was always really just into like the all one out. I was into Tyler the Creator, Andre 3000, Nerd, Pharrell, A$AP Rocky, anybody who was trying to be different. Like that's who I was rocking with.
Ooh. Okay, so since you were at the concert too, would you say it was one of the best concerts you've been to?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to be there with you. It was pretty crazy. Like the aesthetic and like even what you were saying, like when they were walking down, it was exactly, I had the same feeling. And they had the choir like set up like a cross, like everybody was standing, so there was like two cross and they were singing. It was just like, yo, like the aesthetic to this thing, it was like, it just felt so big. So yeah.
Crazy. Okay, so now you're one of the only Black artists that pop into my mind when I think of your sound. Do you find it difficult to be one of the only Black artists in the lane that you're in musically?
Yeah, it could be challenging at times, but it's like I know the impact that, like the people I said before, the all one out, like the person that just had something different. I know the impact that they had on me, and it's worth it because I feel like I can pass that torch. You know, there's a spark, there's a flame, and if I can make that happen for somebody else, then you know that's all I can have for it.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I gotta just say, because y'all always be talking smack on here about sliding into people's DMs and thinking it's more than what it is. If it's a male versus woman, female, it's like we had Joy Crooks on the show last week, right? And I slid and I told her, keep going, shining bright. I want you to check your DM because I slid in his DM and I did the same thing. This dude is a star. A few years ago, no, I told you. Y'all always think it got to be more than what it is. Now what y'all going to say when I gave him the same inspiration? Do you remember that DM?
That means, Romeo, I'm so sorry, but you were hitting on him.
He said,
Oh, I was. See, hey.
I don't think he got the DM. He don't even look like
You don't even remember this.
Look, I gave him some inspiration. This is what I got to tell you, Jamie, because I got to take it seriously right here. We live in a world where everything is sexual and got to be hidden on people if it's female versus male. And then the thing with him, the dude is a star. Like if I came back as an artist today, it'll be Lonr. I saw him perform with her.
Oh, you talking about
like,
me?
Yeah. You.
Yo, I was sitting here lost. I was like, oh, I wanted to say, I'm my bad, bro.
Nah, but look, they always think it got to be more than what it is. So now I got a dude on the show who I gave the same inspiration to. And it's like, I was just telling him because he got to carry the torch. The dude is a hell of a talent, you know?
Okay.
Nah, I appreciate that. And I wanted to say that too. I remember when you actually put me on your story, like I had a live performance that I did. Yeah. And you know, for me, like I grew up looking at you and you were an inspiration for me. So to see that you like even saw that I was doing something was like, oh wow, like it just made me want to keep going. So like,
man, and that's big. And that's what I got to keep it 100 and serious note on here because on our show we play about sliding in DMs and this and that. Yeah. But you know, that's a moment where we do got to do our job. I feel the biggest blessing is to be a blessing to others and to shine that light. And dog, you really got it. And it's just crazy to see you here now all these Grammys later. It's like that was just 2-3 years ago where now it's a whole, people know who Lonr is now.
Word.
Yeah.
And I mean, just like you said, passing the torch. Like you gave me the inspiration, and I'm trying to do the same for somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I still think
gotta do that for
us on DMs, but you know, maybe he was still giving it love too.
Look, hey John, let me tell you something. You gonna know if I'm hitting on you because I'm gonna put an eggplant in the DMs. I ain't playing. I'm just saying. You gonna know.
We're done.
I'm just saying it's gonna be an eggplant with some water going
down. No. Oh my gosh.
Wait a minute, what's so old? Wait, with the water, what does that mean?
I'm just saying. You ain't gonna have to guess if I'm hitting on you or not. That's all I gotta say.
How did we end up here?
My fault, Lonr, man. We got on a whole nother topic.
Nah, you good, man. I be throwing them eggplants around too.
Guys.
But look, I gotta ask you, man. You're also an accomplished songwriter, and you written songs for her. Like, what is it like working with another artist who really cares about the attention to detail in their music? Because she's a perfectionist.
Yeah, I mean, it really means everything. It means everything to me. Like I came from a small town, you know, like I was on the East Coast, kind of like you, on some country stuff, just like in the woods, all that type of stuff. And nobody in my town really was, maybe if they were musically inclined, they just weren't doing it. They didn't have the passion, they didn't have the drive to do it. So like, I really felt like the only one, and H.E.R was actually the first artist at her caliber that I worked with, and to see her passion fully in it, and just every little tiny thing to the smallest detail was just like, okay, yeah, this is amazing. It's like, it's euphoric. That's really what it is. It's euphoric. Yeah.
It's a beautiful story.
Okay. So we've been throwing this around, you know, just playing with it, not really touching on it enough for me. And I went on your Instagram today and I saw you didn't even have it in your bio, and it gave me humble artist. I love that. But right now, we're gonna put some respect on your name, my boy. So my boy is a 2-time Grammy Award-winning artist. Please do not.
Yes, sir.
So I have to know, how does it feel to become a Grammy winner at only 21 years old?
It felt so at 21. It still feels surreal that I got that Grammy at 21. Like like just being from like a town where like nobody was really trying to do stuff at like a higher level. It felt like I just had to always prove it. I had to prove to everybody that I could do this. So like that was the first one where it was like, okay, like I can do this. Like I kind of proved it to myself. And then, you know, once you do something big, you're always trying to do something bigger. So like if you're at that status, you want to know, can I do it again? And so to know that I could do it again, it's just more confirmation that I'm supposed to be here. So
it is confirmation. And man, artists like you are so important to this generation, because we got so many young kids who want to do it for the fame, right? They want to do it for the clout and the wrong reasons. You are truly an artist. You do this because you love it, and you do it to inspire the next. And that's what I love about the mix. You know, we want those artists on our show. We want to put a spotlight on those people. And like I said, music really is in good hands. From what I've been seeing and all the young artists coming up that we had on our show, man, you definitely lead in the pack, but his music is definitely in good hands.
Yeah, there's a lot of dope people, man. There's a lot of like musically and like you just gotta love it. You gotta love what you do. You gotta have.
But it's crazy though. People like you should be at the top of the top, right? Like with the hard work you put in. That's why we do this show, because the world need to know artists like you. You are the ones deserving of that top spot.
So then
I'm finna get there too. I'm finna get there. I'm finna get there.
Romeo, I'm glad you set this up, because Lonr, I tell you a little short fact about the mix here. We have this manifestation portal on the show. Don't ask me how it happens, but whenever someone manifests right here, it always happens, and the proof is in the pudding. I am not lying. So I'm going to give you the opportunity right now. What does Lonr want to manifest for the next few years?
For the next few years, I think, you know, Romeo's saying I'm gonna get to the top. So I'm gonna manifest that I'm gonna get a song with I'm gonna get a whole project done with Tyler, the Creator. That's what I'm gonna manifest.
That part right there.
Hey, ding, ding, ding! You heard it first. The biggest artist in the world, Lonr, with Tyler, the Creator.
You heard it here first.
Yes,
and
sir.
on that note, because we got to throw that into our, you know, manifestation portal, we're going to take a quick break, but don't go anywhere, because Lonr is going to stick around to talk about his newest album, Land of Nothing Real, too, when we come back.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh.
Welcome back to The Mix. We have 2-time Grammy Award-winning singer and songwriter and producer Lonr here in the mix. But before we get into your newest project, Land of Nothing Real 2, I want to read a really sweet comment that we got from a fan watching. And this is from Kayla Morales. I'm so sorry if I said your name wrong, but she said, Lonr, your music has been getting me through the hardest time of my 22 years of living. Told you that, much love. And I just wanted to share that.
I love you, Kayla. I'm gonna keep doing this for you.
Yeah, that's what it's about, for real.
That's all it's about.
For real. So, okay, let's just.
But I got a question. So if he slide in Kayla DMs,
no, Romeo,
respond back, I won't think it's more than that. Did he like give some inspiration and love?
Oh,
okay.
Anyway, your debut EP, Romeo, Land of Nothing Real 1 was just released last year and got you a #1 on the Billboard Urban AC charts. And on top of that, your song AM blew up on TikTok with over 1 million video creations. And on top of that, you almost got 30 million streams on Spotify alone. So was there any pressure? Well, you know what, never mind, let me not. Was there any pressure when making the second album?
I wouldn't really say there was pressure, because I feel like pressure has like a negative connotation to it, but it was more of a challenge. And every time I get into the studio, it's like, that's like my playground. It's like, you know, when you're in elementary school, you got class and then it's recess time. Like every time I got a studio session, that's what it feels like. It's my therapy. So to get in there and to have that challenge to top the next, it was just like, all right, let's get to it. Let's get to work.
Well, what was your thought behind titling the album Land of Nothing Real 2 instead of naming it something totally different?
So, I mean, it's kind of a little complex, but I have pretty much two ideas behind my name. And for those who don't know, Lonr is the acronym Land of Nothing Real. And the first one, what I was pushing behind it was that the land of nothing real is your imagination. It's your ideas. It's all the stuff that you haven't made come true. And that is a reality that you can make reality. So it was really just showing them that my land of nothing real was my creativity, my imagination, and my music. And that's what I made possible. And I wanted my fans to know that you can do whatever your passion is. Excuse me. You can make that possible too. So for Land of Nothing Real 2 was kind of the outside of that. And when you come into making your dreams reality, you're gonna come into the outside world and it's gonna test what you wanna make possible. And I look at that as the Land of Nothing Real, you know what I'm saying? Like let me ask y'all, when you go on social media, when you go on your TikTok, when you go on Twitter, when you go on Instagram, it's like, how often do you really feel like what you're looking at is authentic? Like it's really real.
Almost never.
You know what I'm saying?
It's why we need artists like you, because your voice, man, it's like you get it. Because the younger generation had to realize that even this amazing platform, social media, it isn't real. What is real is what's in your heart. Because guess what? At the end of the day, who are you if we take away social media and all of these platforms? Are you still going to be happy if that's taken away? Yeah. And you're somebody who's so conscious of that, where it's no pressure for you to make your second album because you know this is what you're born to do.
Right.
That's just the truth.
It's my passion. It's my love. And yeah, it's like, shoot, like, man, yeah, no, you hit it on the nail, bro. You hit it on the nail, literally. Yeah. So it's like the Land of Nothing Real 2 is just like looking at this everything, looking at this land, looking at everything before us, and really just speaking into that first Land of Nothing Real, and making sure that you're strong within that, making sure the internal is strong, making sure that every decision is yours, truly. You know, everything that you want to do is driven by your passion and your instincts. So. Exactly.
So let me ask this. What is your current favorite song off the album, and which song do you feel is most personal to you?
I mean, every time I drop a project, it kind of just changes on my mood. But right now I'm in a rent-free mood. Right now. And I guess the most personal would have to be Hi Lonr. Yeah, that's to all the loners. That's to anybody who feels like they don't have a space where they're comfortable. They don't have a space where they're heard. You know what I'm saying? That space is right here in the Land of Nothing Real.
Yeah. Well, I like Rent Free a lot. So.
Okay. Yeah, Rent Free. Let's go.
Before we let you go, we want to do our rapid fire game with you. So let's get into the Mix Minute.
Let's go.
Yeah.
So we're gonna take turns asking you some fun questions, and you have to answer as quick as you can. You can't like really even think about it. Just first thing that comes to the top of your head. Okay, you ready?
And before we start, I just want to say that intro beat is super hard. Like,
Yeah.
He said it's knocking. He said this ain't knocking. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so Danny, go ahead and start us off with a rapid fire question.
Okay. First question. What artist do you have on repeat?
Kurong Bing. Actually, they're right here.
Hey.
Yeah,
Okay.
this is y'all
Okay.
need to get with this Kurong Bing. They're really dope out of Texas. Yeah.
Okay. Put us on.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, biggest celebrity that has reached out to work with you?
Oh, biggest celebrity. Man, I don't know. Like, how do you factor in who's big? Like, I guess I'll say her.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, she's super big to me.
That's big.
In many
I'm
ways.
sure.
Literally, yeah.
Okay, so the last regular job you had.
Last regular job I had, I worked in the grocery store. I worked from produce to produce. Let's go.
Okay.
Yeah.
You like
All
take
right.
fruit and like
Song?
put it back?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Song or artist that you're embarrassed to admit you love?
That's a tricky
Ooh.
question right there.
Song or artist I'm embarrassed to. I'm really not embarrassed to admit the music that I like. It's so peculiar, but I would have to say what people would normally be embarrassed of. Beach House. No. Yeah, I guess yeah, Beach House. Yeah, Beach House is hard.
All right, we got to get to the last and final one. What's the realest line you ever wrote?
Realest line I ever wrote would have to be that's tough.
I know you got a lot of lines going in
Got
there.
a lot
right
of
now.
lines in my head right now. I would have to say well, I gotta look at my phone, right?
Yeah, while you look, I'm gonna tell y'all one of my favorite lines from an artist ever.
Okay.
And it's from Jay-Z, and it's from the song Never Change from the Blueprint. He said, I'm like the dog. I never speak, but I understand. That's one of my favorite rap lines ever.
That's hard.
Okay.
That's
I
hard.
heard that.
It's the visual.
I just thought of mine. It's more of like a kind of just like a title, but meaningful pursuits in a world of disposable pleasures.
Ooh.
Wow.
Like
Man, you could write a poem to that.
Okay.
Poetry.
It's getting deep in here.
But look, on
Okay.
that note, we got to take a break, but I want to thank my brother, the talented Lonr, for getting into the mix with us tonight. Make sure y'all go download and run up his newest album, Land of Nothing Real 2. And I already followed him up on IG, so y'all need to go do the same. Go hit him up on IG, hit the follow button so you can keep up to date with his upcoming appearances and projects. But guess what? We'll be right back here with more on Feuds Soul, and we appreciate you, man. You the leader of the new school. Real.
Thank you for having me.
Welcome back to the mix, you guys. So let's get right back into it with some topics. Rapper Common recently did an interview on Hollywood Unlocked with Jason Lee, where he openly talked about his recent split from actress and comedian Tiffany Haddish. Now, before we go off, he didn't say anything bad about her, mostly saying that it was a mutual breakup and that the real reason they broke up is because they were working in different parts of the country for an extended amount of time and they couldn't properly feed the relationship the way they wanted to. So let's kick it off with this. I know you guys love the relationship topics. Has anyone here ever mutually broken up with someone? And if so, what was the reason?
That sounds like nobody.
Somebody else is here, baby.
Okay.
Now, look, this is the thing.
That we all have we're the people who break up with people. I feel like that's who we are.
And but like, isn't it always somebody breaks up with the person first? So even like if it's mutual, it's really not mutual because somebody had to step in.
No,
we can actually sit down together and be like, okay, we feel, because I've been in the situation that this isn't working.
So why you were so quiet then? Go ahead, let me hear.
Wait a minute.
Why was you so quiet, Dr. Phil?
Well, Miss Jazz, why don't you tell us about your experience?
Exactly.
So I've been in a situation where we both had to sit down and say, okay, this isn't working for us. There's no beef, it's no bad blood, but we mutually are deciding to go our separate ways. Now, of course, one person is always going to be more hurt than the other or more in love with the other. So you deal with that aftermath. But I've actually been in that situation where we mutually decided to end things.
Well, let me go to one of our producers, what they just said. A breakup is never 50-50 mutual. Somebody always wants to leave more. I feel you, Marina.
What about this? So what if you're in a situation, totally not speaking about myself or anything, where you break up mutually, get back together, break up, get back together, and do that back and forth. But it's like always both of us come to the conclusion and then we both mutually decide to get back together.
Oh, that's called Gen Z dating.
Yeah, it sounds like you're in a toxic situation.
Yeah, that's a bit toxic. And it's giving situationship. At this point, I don't think it's a relationship. It's more of a situationship. You guys are there because you're comfortable and you have fun.
I like Love Dr. Jazz. We need to do that more often.
I love it.
Jamie, at your age, it's okay to not know exactly what you want to do and then love somebody you want to get back with someone.
Hold on.
And figure out on your own and then get back together. You're still very, very young to do that.
Yeah, Jamie.
Am I very, very young though? Am I?
Jamie, you said that wasn't you. You wasn't referring to you. But let me tell you, somebody at your age, just know that there's always sunshine after the rain.
Thank you.
I love that.
So,
Okay.
So I want to ask everyone this: how hard is it to stay in a relationship while actively pursuing your career full on?
Ooh. Have y'all seen the movie La La Land?
No, actually.
Oh, well, watch that movie. That's going to tell you how hard it is to actually.
So I want to hear it from you.
No, because look, the movie La La Land, it shows two people chasing
no.
their dreams, right? So let me tell you, but from my personal experience, somebody always have to kind of take that back seat to help push or drive. Common example, Jay-Z and Beyonce, they actually work, and people don't realize this because of their age gap. Jay-Z already accomplished most of the things he wanted to do career driven. So he was able to actually be in the back seat and help Beyonce just do whatever she wanted to do and just cater to her. She made a song called Cater to You, where Jay-Z started catering to her. So I think it do take that pull where, sometimes it got to be that extra push, and somebody has to be that person to take that back seat if you truly want to make love happen while chasing your dreams.
But you were absolutely right, Romeo, because I always say your partner should be your biggest fan. Yep. And most of us here, we probably date people who aren't in the limelight as well. So it's one of those things of you knew who I was before we dated. So now it's you kind of know you have to play a certain role. And if you can't play that role, then I'm probably not for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you saw me time. I couldn't wait. So I just wanted to go back a little bit because I can't be with nobody who don't got time for me. You got to have time for me. So that's on what we was talking about then. But just to go back, I wanted to say I've never even been broken up with, because when you like a queen or whatever. But I wanted to ask y'all, have y'all ever been broken up with, or do y'all always do the breaking up?
I've never been broken up with.
I haven't either.
Yeah.
I've been okay.
Oh, it's okay, Jazz. Let me stop doing this. I'm sorry.
That's very interesting.
It's okay, Jazz.
Yeah, I want to hear what you guys have to say.
Well,
I was just wondering, because
it's the thing.
That's an amazing observation, Zoe.
Yeah.
What?
Been broken up with. Wow.
No. Let me say this. I will say the reason.
About to make a movie.
Wait, let me say this though, because Jazz, I'm high-key with you. Just hear me out. Okay. So the only reason I say no is because every time I have an inkling that it may end, I'm okay, I'm gonna end it first, because I'm not getting. I'm gonna be honest, I can't handle that. So I'll be you know what, I'm gonna do it to you before you could do it to me. Is that terrible?
That's
sure.
childish. That's a little childish.
That's a little childish, but I've been there, so I get it.
Okay, Anton, I get it. I'm young. I'm sorry.
Anton couldn't wait. He said that's childish.
That's right.
Only because
Anton.
If you don't want to break up with someone, don't say it. Don't come to someone and say I want to break up just because you feel like they're gonna break up with you. You know what I mean? Be honest and be true to your heart and your spirit, because that goes much further than trying to get a one-up on somebody. But I want to ask, how do y'all feel about long distance relationships? Do they ever work? And if so, can relationships that are long distance stay healthy?
Now I'm not gonna lie. I'm just gonna jump in and say I feel like long distance relationships are childish and something you do when you're a kid. Now, anyway,
What?
y'all go. Yes.
What?
You said childish.
Damn.
Okay. I'm sorry. Let me rephrase that, y'all. Not childish, but like I was the only long distance relationship I was where I was in middle school. Like I don't think I could do that now that I'm grown.
Middle school. Wait, hold on. Middle school. That's why you think it's childish.
It's probably the reason.
It is childish in middle school, Zoe.
I love
Hey, let me tell you, Zanique was grown in middle school, baby.
y'all. I was in love. I stopped fucking
Yeah. I feel like long distance relationships can work. I've actually been in one for 6 months. And what we had to do was really just communicate. And people often think when you're in long distance, you can't travel to see each other. I mean, not middle school, but like once you're of a certain age, you can catch flights, you could drive, depending on where they're at. So for me, long distance wasn't hard, but when we weren't communicating as much, that's when the trust was broken and we eventually broke it off. But they are possible.
I think it's the person, at the end of the day, I think everybody's different. And I have some friends, they like love long distance relationships and some friends who don't. In my experience, it just depends who I'm dating, So I think it just depends who that person is because you're willing to do more for somebody you're willing to do more for. Now, if it's somebody you really don't care about, a long distance relationship going to be like childish.
Yeah, it is. Have you guys ever tried to save a relationship that didn't need saving and then you realize that like when it's too late?
I have a different perspective. I don't think that long distance relationships are.
I don't think he heard you, Jeff.
I don't think they're realistic because for one, especially with men, we have a very high sex drive. And I think it's very difficult for us to not cheat or not have sex with someone else while we're in hundreds or thousands of miles away from someone, especially if you have two men that are in a relationship. Oh, that's a done deal. Y'all gonna have to open relationship because there's no way that two men are gonna be able to be with each other, not having sex with each other. There's just no way. For me, I don't think that's possible.
Well, I saw a meme the other day, Anton, and it said a man who is driven by sex is foolish, but a man who can control his urges is powerful.
Ooh.
I think that's a very beautiful. That's a very beautiful quote, but there's not many men out there who are not able to control their sexual urge. Okay.
Well, on that note, ladies and gentlemen, we now have realized that Anton is still growing and walking his walk of life. It's okay.
That's right.
Maybe he'll have a different perspective next year. But look, we gotta take another break, but we'll be right back here. Only on Fox Soul. It's the Mix, baby.
Yeah.
Welcome back to the Mix. You already know before we get out of here, it's time to quickly mention some of our favorite stories that we couldn't get into tonight. It's time for the remix. Yeah. Now, first off, we want to send a huge shout out to my homie, Megan P, aka Megan the Stallion, for graduating from Texas Southern University with a bachelor's in health administration. She was in school when her career took off, which delayed her original graduation date. But I'm so happy she went back and finished. She's a true soldier, beauty and brains. Once again, congrats to Meg. You are amazing, truthfully.
Yeah. We love Meg. And to keep the school theme going while we're at it, the Icy Princess, Sweetie, headed back to her alma mater, which happens to be my alma mater, USC.
And mine.
And Romeo's, to speak with students about her entrepreneurship. She gave the class lessons on empathy, storytelling, and meditation writing. I wish that I was there, to be honest. I'm a little jealous that I wasn't, but it's okay. I'll get over it eventually because I think it was super cool that she did that. And I really hope that she comes back again so I can hopefully sneak into the class.
Hey. Well, this next one is for all the Tupac fans out there. His estate will be unveiling an NFT series based on his personal and iconic jewelry collection called the Immortal Collection. The 4-piece range was created by one of the world's leading specialists in digital art and collectibles. The original jewelry pieces were designed by Tupac himself and can be seen in some of the most iconic photos and videos. The NFTs are expected to drop tomorrow, so be on the lookout for that.
Okay, and finally, I just want to send a shout out and put you guys on if you haven't heard it already, because Rick Ross, the biggest boss, just dropped a new album titled Richer Than I Ever Been last Friday, and it is fire, guys. The album includes features from 21 Savage, Wale, and more, including Romeo's Toxic King, Future.
Hey, hey.
Yeah.
Don't be hating.
You was with it. You said you was
Hey,
with it. So
hey, throw Dream Doll in there too. She on there.
Okay, let's not forget about our girl. So if you
Well, y'all, that's our show for tonight. We want to thank the incredible artist and superstar, Mr. Lonr, for getting into the mix with us. Now, don't forget to download our playlist on Spotify for all the hot new tracks. And make sure y'all go follow us on our official Instagram page at The Mix Fox Soul. Up next is the Black Report. So keep it locked right here on Fox Soul, y'all.
Yes.
Wait, did Anton really just say, Zoe, we got to get out on time? Let me just skirt.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm about to have Jill King mad at me, baby.
Okay. So,
Hey, can I ask y'all a real question?
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you guys now believe that you could slide in DMs to inspire?
Yeah.
I think
I'm
you
gonna start
can.
that.
I just don't think that you are sliding into people's DMs too.
Ooh.
Oh, that is just because I listen to Future.
No, yep. That's
I thought we